see the way they hate. And I know better than to listen to the people who are calling us slaves. I can feel the sunlight shining in.
Well, good morning and welcome to episode 860 of the Lots Project Morning Show, where the coffee is strong, the opinions are stronger, and everything is always filter free. I'm Brian, your host, and it's October 20th, 2025. This morning I'm enjoying a fresh cup of FTO Blonde Espresso from foodforestfarms.com because life's too short for shitty coffee. At Food Forest Farms, your beans are roasted by real human hands using a clean Airstream roaster. More than just a customer, your family. Get 10% off with code LOTS10, and shipping is always free. While you're there, check out C4 Club for even more awesome perks. Today, we've got another busy show, a win, a draw, and a loss on the cabin project. I'll talk about all parts of that. A new partnership that opens some fresh content avenues with me, the Lots Project, and I guess the cabin build, too, ties in quite a bit. And no government, no kings, no problem for me. Grab your coffee, smash the like button, and let's get started. Good morning. Good morning. How we doing today? Hope everything is going well, and you've been good since I've talked to you last Monday. Good morning, Mike's Homestead. Thanks for stopping in. Rewilder Life, hello to you. Thanks for being here. Coffee's good, guys. I actually want to flip over here in StreamYard. I was looking before the show. StreamYard has just been blowing up with new features, and I just saw they have a soundboard now. So I was playing some of these sounds. I think they could be good for the show. Definitely a boo. We got drum roll for important announcements. Applause. And the gong. Yeah, we got several ones. Looks like I can add a bunch more, so that'll be interesting. I'll have to start playing with that. I didn't even know it was there, but we could add in. I've always wanted to add in a little soundboard for the show, but I've never been using the highest end electronics equipment, and I don't need to bog it down any more than it already is trying to run video and audio and all the stuff together. Anyway, Food Forest Farms, man, hits the spot again every day. Hunter says, what happened at the beginning of October? I swear it was the last week. You went to SRF and you spent 4 days traveling. And I mean, do you want me to count out how your October disappeared? Anyway, good morning, Hunter. Thanks for stopping in over on Twitch. Appreciate it. Food Forest Farms, man, hitting the spot again. I wrapped up that special test blend from last week, about middle of the week, towards the end of the week, and rolled into this FTO Blonde Espresso, which has always been one of my favorites. Rewilder Life says you blinked, and in the beginning of October was gone. So yeah, there it is. That's for sure. You're telling me about timelines. We'll talk about timelines in just a little bit and how ours may just be getting adjusted. But anyway, back to the coffee. It's been hitting the spot really well the last few days. I actually ended up having an extra mug yesterday. I'm down to just so I have it right here. Every morning I have one mug and this mug, and I pour it into this mug. And so I end up getting like, I think four cups of coffee. That's down significantly from what I would make even 6 months ago, but a couple of years ago and back before that, just tons and tons and tons. So I feel like I'm doing good, dropping down the coffee consumption, but very enjoying it a lot more and savoring it, and not just using it to wake myself up, actually enjoying it for the flavor. And the Food Forest Farms blends and single origins I get are just absolutely fantastic for that. And add in the AeroPress really brings out the flavor of the coffee. So getting more into enjoying than a necessity mode with the coffee. But FTO Blonde Espresso this week. C4 is on the way. It shipped I don't want to say it shipped late. It shipped a couple days after normal. The man was in a plane wreck and ended up roasting his next month's order from a wheelchair next to his roaster. So made it out of the hospital in time. Thanks, Brian. Appreciate that. And he came up with a special blend, aces and eights blend. If you know aces and eights, you kind of get the drift. But roasted the aces and eights blend, and that's on its way, I believe. I think he was sending out some with each C4 offer, but anyway, you can get some of that over at foodforestfarms.com, and I think he's running a twin pack sale on that until he can walk again. So he's in a wheelchair. Appreciate all the hard work from Brian. And if you head over to foodforestfarms.com, you can get that twin pack deal on the aces and eights blend that he came up with. He cupped it, he tasted it, he said it's fantastic, and it's exactly what he was looking to make. And if you tried the silver bullet blend back when we were selling silver, this is he said it's a spin-off on that, and it's good. So I'll trust him. Hopefully there's some in the C4 package, and I can try it here in the next couple days when I finish up with this bag of FTO Blonde Espresso. But head on over there, use code LOTS10 for 10% off, and get your aces and eights blend while it's a limited time availability until Norton walks again, which I think it'll be sooner rather than later. The guy's like blowing all his timelines out of the water, and we'll have to do maybe a chat with him at some point on how he is healing so quickly from such a horrific accident. But anyway, we'll move on here. Good morning, Canadian Farmstead. Thanks for popping in. Appreciate you. Ah, man, it's good. I could just sit here and sip on this for the rest of the morning, and we'll skip the show. It was tough getting up this morning. We got to 30. I think it was supposed to be 39 overnight, 40-ish, and I skipped the wood stove. I convinced Corey that we should see how the temps go, and it's supposed to be in the 70s and sunny today, and I didn't know necessarily about firing up a fire this morning, getting the camper all hot, and then having the sun beat on it, and end up having to want to turn the air on or something later this afternoon. So we're seeing how it goes. We're supposed to pop up a day or two with overnight temps in the 50s, and then back down into the low 40s, high 30s for a couple days, and beyond that, back up overnights in the 50s. So it's that fall time here, and temps kind of pop all over the place. I'm guessing we'll probably see an upper 80s or even a 90s here in the next week or so, and pop back up and just make things all screwy. But anyway, let's pop in with Bitcoin right now. It's been a crazy week with Bitcoin. I think we're down to 105, 102. So I don't even know what the low was earlier this week. I just saw down. We popped up again this morning. I think it was up 3% from yesterday. We're at 110,669, 110,669 for Bitcoin. We'll see how it goes. I don't know what's affecting Bitcoin. Over in the Telegram group, we were chatting about it, and I just haven't been following. I gotta be honest, I've really just been researching cabin build stuff and working on the cabin. And when I'm not working on the cabin, I'm researching the next step of the cabin or something I need to figure out on the current part of the cabin. And man, I've really checked out from everything. Talk about that a little bit later in the no government, no kings section of the show. But I don't know what's going on with Bitcoin. It's there. It's there. It'll be there. It's not going anywhere. It seems like a good price to pick some up. Anytime that light on the ticker is red and it's down, I think it's better to buy then than when it's green and it's up. So anyway, if you got a bunch of Bitcoin and you're worried about the security of it, you should think about picking up Blockstream Jade. That's another way you can help support the show. On Blockstream Jade, the link and the discount code is down in the video description, audio description. You can pick it up there. save yourself 10% on the Blockstream Jade or Jade Plus. Anyway, wins. Cabin. Let's talk about the cabin. That's all that's been on my mind lately. That's all I've been working on. And so last Monday we had laid a bunch of the subfloor in the cabin. Corey and I busted our butt, laid a bunch of the subfloor. We had a little bit left to do. So I talked to you guys about that last week. So Tuesday went and put in our order for all our doors and windows. So cabin is going to end up with 10 windows. Somebody was asking if we're putting in a greenhouse, but no, we went with the low E tint on the windows and higher end windows. So hopefully it helps insulate. But yeah, Corey wanted to let the light in, and I agreed with her for sure. The living in the camper with the summers and winters having to have the windows blocked out by Reflectix to try to have some sort of insulation in here and keep some sort of moderate temperature, either cold or warm. You live in a cave, and if I can live in the light and maybe spend a little bit more for heating and cooling or whatever the consequences are, I think I want to be able to see outside. Plus, we're out in the middle of the woods, and who wouldn't want to have a bunch of windows out in the middle of the woods? So, got the windows and doors ordered. I think the lead time on that was 3 to 4 weeks. So it gave us some time to figure some stuff out. We had a little bit of subfloor left to do, and then framing out the walls, the exterior walls that the windows and doors were going to sit in. So I had about 3 to 4 weeks to figure that out, to get that kind of prepped. When I ordered the windows, the gentleman gave me all the rough openings I needed for my framing. And so I was excited to do that. On our plans for the week, we were looking to. Good morning, Martinson family. Goof morning to you. New soundboard. Blue Wilder Life says it's worth it. We've been in the 30s here at night and tons of windows. It was still 68 here in the morning. Yeah, I think with the modern windows and when we were shopping for the windows, the guy was telling us about the low E glass, and it has a tint on it. And Corey's like, I don't know about the tint. I just kind of want to look outside. That's why we're getting the windows. I don't know why I want it tinted. And he's like, you've been in Tennessee for 3 years now. You know how intense the sun is in the summer, and you're probably going to want them, especially if you're going to have that many windows. And so we went with it. It was the same cost for the tint or without the tint, and I think it was a wise move to go with the tint for those summer days for sure. But anyway, I had to start figuring out framing the walls. Had a lumber takeoff for that all set, for the wall framing and the purlins for hanging the metal, and I was going to get that ordered up, and I kind of ran into a roadblock with it when I went to order the windows. I was going to order the lumber for that at the same time, and I had been quoted a price on some 2x6s, and I was happy with the price. And then when I went to order the windows, the guy gave me a price that was like 30%. I said it was like 30% more than I had been quoted. And so I kind of pumped the brakes on that. I just ordered hey, Cormac, good morning. Thanks for stopping in. Cormac over across the pond. I appreciate that for swinging in and checking out the show. But I pumped the brakes on the wood when I saw the price. Went ahead and got the windows and doors ordered because they were such a long lead time. But the wood was, we can bring it out tomorrow if you want. So I felt like I had a little bit of time. I was kind of confused by the extra price. And my dilemma was, I know I got a good price from the building company that we'll end up buying our metal from, that we bought the posts and the roof from and the trusses, but they don't deliver. So I have to coordinate delivery. The place we ordered the windows and the doors from The price is slightly higher on the, well, I thought the price was slightly higher. It turned out to be quite a bit higher. The price is higher on the lumber, but they would deliver, and they deliver for free with the amount of material that I'm buying. So it was a convenience thing. It was let's go. I'm gonna go home and pencil out the math and decide whether the delivery was worth the extra cost. And anyway, I got home and realized that he had quoted me spruce instead of pine. And I think when I called prior, the lady had quoted me pine and not spruce. And I know that the building material place that we got the metal, they were quoting me southern yellow pine. That's what they sell. That's what they use to build the stuff that they build. So I ended up going down a rabbit hole for so it was like 2 days, 3 days at least, of whether I wanted to use southern yellow pine or spruce. I don't know how many of you are working on houses or building stuff or are lumber experts by any means, but it's like a 50-50 toss up on which to use. Southern yellow pine is good morning, Pip. Thanks for popping in. Appreciate you. Southern yellow pine is stronger. It holds screws better. It's heavier and it's cheaper. And fir or excuse me, spruce on the other hand is lighter. It's not quite as strong, but still strong enough. It's still sufficient. It doesn't hold screws as well, and has a tendency of as it gets older and drying out a little bit more, it'll shrink away from the screws, shrink away from the threads of the screws, and be able to pull out easier. But it's more expensive, but it's way lighter, like 30% lighter or something like that. Now, weight is kind of, I don't know if I would necessarily call it an issue in our build. It's something that we're taking consideration of, but with the amount of lumber we're putting in there, I just don't know if weight is actually a factor to worry about. The other thing about spruce and pine, or excuse me, southern yellow pine and spruce is the spruce is normally straighter. And Mike Homestead says straighter. Yeah, the spruce is normally straighter, and I could probably use that. I could probably use that. I got some stuff going on. I have to figure out with some stuff that's it's not exactly square. Nothing huge, but just stuff we're running across as we're working on the structure. So I just gone back and forth, and I really haven't made a decision yet. So we don't have the lumber on site. So anyway, we had to finish up. We got the windows ordered. I paused on the lumber order, trying to decide which way to go with that. And I haven't even really made a decision yet. I don't know. I don't know. The southern yellow pine will be used for the purlins for sure. Just for the hold strength on them, the screw hold strength and the strength of the strength of the wood. Mike, when they put your purlins on, did they use southern yellow pine when they did your pole barn? I think that what I've read is that's the preference for the purlins to hold the metal on, but I could be wrong there too. But anyway, kind of stuck on what species of wood I want to go with. But anyway, the windows and the doors are ordered, and we went through the rest of the week. I had a huge order of blanks for Etsy for K&B. I talked about that a little bit last week. Getting orders in for the little wooden triangles, and so I had to knock out a huge order of that during the week. Corey was back to work for the whole week. Didn't have any extra days off to help me out at the property, so I kind of puttered along. Mike says they use southern yellow pine for the purlins. That's what I kind of read, just for the screw strength. the holding strength of the screws in it is why I read that they went with that. But anyway, I was able to make it out and prep up for our weekend. Corey was going to be able to help me again on the weekend. We wanted to knock out the rest of the subfloor. And so I was able to get the next row. We were to the point in the floor plan where we weren't going end wall to end wall. Our covered porch was kind of in the middle. So we were doing two little sections, two about 10-foot sections on either side of an opening. So I went and got the pieces cut to length. I got notches cut out of them where there were posts. And basically the plan was on Saturday, we were going to go out and install the rest of the subfloor and then start marking out the floor plan. We got that accomplished. We got out there Saturday morning and knocked that out pretty quick, actually in a few hours. Got the last of the subfloor in. Was really impressed with the ordering on that. Somehow I got lucky and ended up with one full sheet of flooring left, and then less than a sheet of scrap of like cut off ends. We were able to use a couple of the leftover cutoffs for those smaller spaces that we were doing at the end. And I still have some places where I need to cover up where some wall cavities are going to be, and I'd like to get some strips of subflooring over there just to square them up and make it easier for measuring and things being level and all other things like that. So really happy with the ordering and having that subfloor down. We started marking out windows and doors and interior walls on the floor and started to lay things out and look at things and decide if the floor plan that we've been looking at that we did on an Excel sheet in little grid paper, if it's going to work for us. And I think it is. I think Corey's measurements were pretty well on the spacing and things like that. It kind of gets a little wonky when you say, well, this is a 3 foot wide space to walk, and you're like, okay, well, is 3 foot sufficient? And you're trying to reference things in your life and look at what normal spaces are. And I think she did a really good job so far. We still are kind of in the research phase on the wood stove and how we want to go with that, like where exactly it's going to sit, how big the hearth on the floor is going to be, if we're going to do a heat shield on the backside, or if we're just going to have it the standard space between it and the walls, if it's going to stick out too far, where it's going to be placed, and if we need to move it into a corner or something like that. So we weren't exactly sure actually we weren't exactly sure on the wood stove we were going to go with, which determines the exact clearances and the floor, and then I'm going back and forth whether I want to do a prefab hearth on the bottom, or if I want to take on another skill of constructing one and then laying stone and all of that stuff. So we took off for the day. We were going to go home and research that kind of stuff. But that was a win. We finished the subfloor. We got the windows and doors ordered. And the house wrap has been holding up fairly well. Then came Saturday. I guess that was Saturday. Saturday evening was scheduled for a pretty decent rainstorm. We were actually kind of excited to see how the house wrap held up. I mean, it hadn't rained in weeks prior to that. I mean, nothing significant, at least. It was drizzly and kind of a little rainy when we were putting up the house wrap, but it had been really weeks since we got any significant rainstorm or storm. I would guess I guess you could say that there was quite a bit of drizzling here and there, but nothing where it was like a downpour where we would worry about the house wrap leaking or blowing off. But Saturday night was supposed to be the day. It was supposed to be pretty windy. It turned out to be pretty windy. We got a significant amount of rain. It sounded like they got even more over where the cabin is than we got here at our place. But looking around in the morning, we definitely got a significant amount of rain here. And then shit went sideways. Really. Got a message in the morning that from Jamie out there, Jamie, my buddy at the end of the road, said that they started working on the road. I've talked about, I don't know if on the show, but definitely in the group, about the fact that we're going to get the road worked on a little bit, bringing out a dozer and doing some and cutting some tops of the hills down, making the road a little less steep in places, a little less likely to wash out, kind of widening things and just making it all around better. Unfortunately, they decided to start. Mike says, "How about Sunday wind?" The Sunday wind was pretty significant too, but they decided to start working with the dozer on Saturday. After we left, really, we were there probably only till 1:00. It must have been after 1:00 they started, and they wrapped up before dark, which is 6-ish or 6:37. Excuse me. And so they did they did significant amount of work, but nothing that was even close to finished. So they started cutting the tops off of a hill and pushing it down the hill, and kind of wrapped up when it was time to go, not really when it was good to go. And so Jamie said, they started working on the stuff, and I think they probably pushed all the chert away. And with all the rain, I just wanted to let you know that it's probably slick back there, and I don't know if you're going to be able to get up that second hill or whatever he referred to it as. Wilder Life says, insert Brian nervously laughing. Right. So we wanted to go out. Our plan on Sunday was to go out and continue marking out the floor a little bit. Kind of finish that up, at least where the windows were. So when I could get some material, when I get some lumber out, there, I could start framing. And that was the plan for this week. I was going to finally make up my mind which direction I wanted to go with the pine or the spruce, and get it delivered. And so we were like, well, let's go out. We'll walk out back. We'll check out the road. We'll walk back to the cabin, and we'll see how it held up. We'll see if the house wrap held up. We'll see what the road looks like. We'll do what we want to do. We'll do what we can do. And so we took our time in the morning. We got around. We drove out. We hung out with Jamie for a little bit. Jamie decided to walk back with us, and it's not good. Not good. There is probably I don't know. I can't even estimate it. Probably a good 50 yards of like 4-inch thick mud on a hill. I guess. There's no way. There's no way I'm driving my truck back there. There's no way I would suggest someone drive anything other than something with tracks back there. And the what happened after with the rain and where they had started, I don't know. I would be hesitant to drive some tracked vehicles until it dries up a little bit, for sure. Probably should have checked the weather forecast before we started on the road, especially if we're going to finish it. So we have no access right now. No access for deliveries, no access for me other than hiking back a half a mile up and down elevation. I'm going with it. I'm turning over a new leaf, guys. Turning over a new leaf. I'm trying to roll with it. I'm trying not to freak out too much about it. I have some angst on the inside about it, but it is what it is. I can't change it. I don't have any equipment. I am not doing the work. Um, I, it is what it is. It is what it is. It really is. But it's going to significantly impact our timelines. I don't know. I haven't been able to get a hold of the guy. Weird. Um, Rewilder Life asked if the building is okay. I'll get there in just a second. Um, I haven't talked to the guy to see when he's coming back out. It's supposed to be dry all this week until Friday, and then we're supposed to get like 4 days straight of rain. So I'm hoping I'm hoping that they can get out at least and get some runoff, some drainage, some sluice or swales or something along the side of this to funnel the water away for the significant rain coming up next weekend, or it's just going to keep getting worse. Um, but it is what it is. It is what it is. Um, Rewilder Life said, "Is the building okay?" Well, we walked back. We walked back. We got back there, and the building is doing well. The house wrap, it was up for the majority. There was one small section that the nails had ripped through on the bottom in the wind, and it got a little bit wet on the inside. Nothing that we weren't able to nail back up immediately, and there wasn't any standing water or anything. So I think it was maybe it really could have been just it running off finally, I think it was just the running off the house wrap as it was coming down the side. The rain was hitting it and kind of draining down. Got on the floor, but I don't think it was anything significant. And my friend is back. Hello. You want to come over here? No. Okay. Um, so everything was good with the house. The floor wasn't soaking wet. The house wrap was still there. Um, so nothing huge. Other than access now. Other than I can't get material back there to start the framing of the walls. I can't get if our windows and doors come in before they get the road fixed. I'm gonna have to figure out where to have them delivered, where to store them until we can get in there, and then how to transport them back there when we can get in there. Rewilder Life says we did swales and mini ponds down the side of our drive because our excavator didn't plan for the rain events. Thankfully, have a tractor. Yeah, I mean, the guy that's doing it is great. Like we were talking about it as we walked back there. The spots that are done, the spots that are finished. Good cat. Um, the, the parts that are finished are great. He does a fantastic job when it's done. The problem is it's like a side gig for him, so it's not his main deal where he's out there finishing it. So deep breaths and deep breaths and waiting. So we'll see. We'll see. I don't think I'm going to be driving back there anytime soon. Definitely. Canadian Farm says kitten Dolly was on the back of the chair and kissed the Bitcoin price. Pip says, "Kitty, make the Bitcoin drop some more." Sure. And Mike's Homestead said, "Finally, we're seeing the daily stoic effects." You know, I can't be mad at the guy. I mean, I can be mad. But what fucking good does it do? He's just trying to make the road better. He's trying to make the road better, and it wasn't finished. Now, I think it would be a way different story if he sent me a message and was like, "Dude, the road's done. the road's done. And I went out there and it was like that. But we knew this was just the beginning of this project. I just wish I wish he had been able to work on it when we hadn't had a rain for like a month. Maybe at the beginning of the month he had started, and not the day before a multiple an inch plus rain event. It is what it is. Real Other Life says, "Hey, stuff happens," and that's right, and that's kind of where I'm looking at it. So anyway, that might significantly delay our cabin build. I don't know. I heard rumors. I'm gonna try to get a hold of him today. He was traveling yesterday, but I heard a little bit of a birdie told me that he was thinking about trying to get back out there this week, and spend some solid days during the week out there. We'll see. We'll see. Fingers crossed. But if it drags on, that's just going to push out our ability to work on things out there. And I mean, not on the ability to work on things out there. I still have to get back there to do work. For Delinquent Scully and for myself, it's just a matter of material. So really, I think it's going to shift to clearing for the solar field. Canadian Farm says just carry the windows in one at a time. I'll tell you. So I don't have my phone right here. When we walked back there, it was interesting because Corey has her Garmin watch that measures elevation, distance, and all of that stuff. And we were at Jamie's house and had a couple of things we wanted to check. I was curious what the elevation was at our place versus Jamie's, what our elevation drop on our driveway is. Where kind of what the length was and all sorts of stuff of the easement road. And really, we are both at the top of hills. Jamie, I think, was 5 or 15 feet. I don't know. My phone's in the other room. I had it all on there. But anyway, about a half a mile and some significant hills. The first hill from Jamie's down to the bottom where his spring is actually a 40-foot drop over not very long. So it is definitely a significant drop down the hill there. And then up and down the whole way. And with the mud right now, I'm going to be having a backpack on and hope I don't fall on my ass every time I walk back there. And luckily, Corey and I and Jamie all made it in and out without taking a ride down the muddy hill. But I don't think it would be a far-fetched idea to see slipping and taking a ride down some of these hills since they're so muddy. But Rualo says, "Hey, you need to seek out another free shelter." I would love to have another free shelter. I don't even think I'd be able to get it back. I'd have to put it up at Jamie's. But we're going to be clearing. I think my time until we can get material back there is going to be spent clearing for the solar field. And then Delinquent Gully project right now I got going on is clearing for our hops experiment. I talked about a few weeks ago where we're going to run one single row of hops on the south side. There's a huge hill on the south side of the food forest, and about 3/4 of the way up the hill, we're going to run a line of hops across and run support wire from tree to tree. So the first step in that was to get down to the one tree and then hack my way across to the other tree in the overgrowth. Blackberries again, just more of that same bullshit clearing with a machete. I think I got about halfway across at this point, but just whacking that away, and then we're going to kind of flip over the soil, do like a modified swale across, and give it a level planting surface and a little bit of a swale to catch rain running down the hill to water the hops. So got plenty of stuff to do out there that I don't need material. I just can't make any progress on staying out there full time without more material to make some progress. So we will see. So I would call that a win. A couple wins with getting the windows and doors ordered and getting the subfloor finished. Getting called it a draw on the house wrap, and it kind of tore out a little bit. Got a little tiny bit wet, but all in all, it did its job, and we were able to repair it. And then the loss, man, on the access switch is really going to delay things, I think. Hopefully I'm wrong. Hopefully he's back this week and knocks it out and gets some chert on it and gets everything firmed up. I just don't know. I don't know. I'm kind of at a loss and just rolling with it. We'll see. Real Life got some hops from Carrie also, and she hopes they live. And we planted a bunch down in the food forest, and I can't even find them. They ended up getting, I don't want to say forgotten about, but they got swallowed up when it started raining and being super sunny here last spring into the summer when he brought them over, and everything just swallowed them up. So we'll see if they're still there, and if we can get them transferred up on the hill to a place where they can be more babysat and controlled. So we'll see about that project. Is one of my winter projects out at DG. Another is to find the spring head on the little spring that's over by Tim's cabin, and I had a couple other things on the list too that's winter, basically clearing and prepping stuff for the next season. So Ruala says we've been so dry, and hers were planted back where there was no water. Yeah. It's the struggle for sure. Anyway, let's move on a little bit to the next subject. So signed up, started a new partnership. Just want to talk about this real quick. Started a new partnership, kind of finalized this week. I'd been talking to them a little bit here and there. Ended up having a meeting with who's going to end up being my affiliate manager, I guess would be his title. Tech support affiliate manager, whatever, my contact. But finalized setting up a partnership deal, affiliate deal with Signature Solar this week. As I started to spec out the components I wanted for the solar system at the house or at the cabin, and then likely we'll be doing a mirrored system, the same kind of setup for Tim with his half of the panels that we got. All the equipment I was going to order was available for Signature Solar. Everything that I started to spec out was available there. I talked to a couple people that have worked with them. I talked with a couple of people that are in their affiliate program, and I applied and was able to have a chat with them and lay out what I was thinking, what I had going on, and what my plans are. And they were excited about it. Phil, my buddy over there, my new contact over there, shouldn't call him my buddy. Just met him this week. My contact over there was excited about the possibilities and the stuff I was thinking about. So that deal right there made me, I don't want to say finalize. I've been thinking about what I want to do as far as I talked about it last week, as far as social media, as far as content, as far as documentation and what styles of videos I want to do and what I'm currently doing. And this deal with Signature Solar has really helped me clarify things, I guess, in my head as far as going forward. Show's not going anywhere. Don't worry about that. I don't know if it'll be at 6 a.m. every Monday going forward. I don't know that yet, but it's not going anywhere. I actually kind of want to add in some conversations with folks in the space that we're going into the off-grid space, solar and rainwater collection, people like Ryan Steva, the homestead consultant, and stuff like that. Have some chats with them, some permaculture designers, I don't know if it's going to be on a regular schedule, but I've been missing interviewing people again, and maybe doing some of that. But basically, the YouTube channel, I think I'm gonna really dial in and focus on the YouTube channel, and get back on Noster, and I really want to get away from Facebook and all the socials. Basically, focus on making videos and long format and short format videos for YouTube, and participating on Noster, which I've been absent for I think 6 months now, and I can tell the difference in my online uh my online and my consumption, and how I interact online, and what I see. Um yeah, not really happy with it. So it's a big, I don't want to say it's a big decision. It's not a life altering decision. Well, I guess it is really. It can be. But basically, I on the YouTube channel, I'm gonna throw up a few playlists. There's gonna be a solar one. There's gonna be a Bitcoin one. There's going to be one for the podcast, and then one for my Amazon review videos. I'm gonna keep doing those Amazon product videos, and have their own place there. So I think that's the direction forward. And if it moves into something more than that, I don't know. But I keep falling back to I'm just gonna put the time and the focus into the YouTube videos, and make the podcast a little better, and get off the social media. Really, uh, the juice isn't worth the squeeze there. I've dabbled into the analytics, the reach and things when I post on Facebook, and it's just the clutter in my brain, and the doom scrolling and things like that just aren't worth what I get out of being on there. What I get out of posting on there. So those decisions are being made and kind of figured out here in the transition. So it kind of was targeting. I was kind of targeting when we got out into the cabin. I was just going to kind of do a whole reset, but with this delay, I don't know if I'll end up waiting that long, depending on how long the road access is, and maybe I'll just get bored and start making those transitions sooner rather than later. I have some content ideas for Signature Solar before I get any of the products in for the solar system. But once that starts rolling, once I start ordering components and start working on that system, that's just an absolute ton of content. Everything from unboxing the equipment to installing it and using it and troubleshooting it and beyond. So happy to be working with Signature Solar. I don't know if I have my link here anywhere. I know it's open in one of these tabs, but oh, there it is. I'll throw it in the comments, and then I will get it in the podcast show notes, and hopefully get back and get it in the video description as well. But signaturesolar.com/?ref equals lots is the link. Your normal referral link set up on that. But excited to work with Signature Solar and do some cool content with them, and get our power situation up and rolling. And they were happy to have people. They're happy to have Martinson family's got a no work rain day. Just got a text. That's never horrible. Well, if you need the work, it's not great, but every once in a while a day off isn't bad. Pip says my show now interrupts his day off and sleeping in. You don't need to sleep in past 7. You're on the East Coast, so I don't start till 7 there. That's not bad. But anyway, Signature Solar is excited to work with people that rely on this. Not, I mean, no discounting grid tied system, but when you rely on your solar for your main power, yeah, It's a little different. It needs to be a little bit more reliable. Hunter says those are the guys from Texas. Yes, Signature Solar is in Texas. Let's see. 10 minutes. 10 minutes. Okay. I got some stuff on the list here that I guess the only reason I know about it is because I'm on social media. But the government's still shut down, guys. Did you know? I had to look it up again this morning. Let me I read on my chat GPT this morning before I jumped on the show. I said, is the government still shut down as of 10/20/2025? Yes, the U.S. federal government is still shut down as of October 20th, 2025. Key details: the shutdown began October 1st. Okay, this is going to be the third week, day 19, making it the third longest shutdown in U.S. history. And what are you guys feeling the effects of that? Are you guys feeling the effects of the government shutdown? Martinson family, how is life in Canada? Do you guys don't have a government shutdown? Martinson family says need to work, but I'll pivot and go interview a new client needing a metal roof and some general repairs. Nice. Multiply that time out. Rewilded Life says, are we going to die from the UFO meteor? I don't know. That's later this month, isn't it? Kind of lost track. Kind of lost track on the Atlas meteor spaceship. Pip says they're shut down. That's what I've been. That's what I've been saying. I haven't noticed any difference, and that just might be. It doesn't affect me, really. It hasn't. I'm sure people that are all in on the status side are going to be like, but it does. It overall it affects you. Blah 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 blah. Probably. But you know what? I haven't noticed a difference in my day to day. Rewilder Life says, strangely, no chemtrails since the shit down. The shit down is right. She corrected herself with the typo and says shut down, but I think it's a shit down for sure. Hunter says the government shut down and my road's getting fixed. Well, my road's getting tore up, but eventually fixed. Yes. Pip says they're still stealing the money from your checks. They are. I don't necessarily call this a government shutdown. It's a show. They always are. The shit isn't shut down. There's people doing things. There's people getting paid. There's people not getting paid, but there's people working still. It is what it is. And so that's the no government. I got no problem with that. The No Kings protest. Where the fuck did this come from again? I remember the last one. I remember the last No Kings that popped up out of nowhere, and they were protesting. The irony with No Kings protest is just phenomenal, and you see it pop up every once in a while in the memes. But the fact that you're protesting a tyrannical king and the ability to protest that tyrannical king just kind of makes it so that that's not really a tyrannical king. Otherwise you wouldn't be protesting. But anyway, some of the stuff coming out of this No Kings protest yesterday was it's gold. It's gold. Some of the interviews with the No Kings people that I talked about it last time that they had their little protest. There's no coherent message. They're just all walking around saying no kings. We don't want any kings. Trump bad. Trump do bad things. Oh man, well, exactly what is he doing that's illegal or and they have no answers. And I'm not an Orange Boy fanboy by any means. I like I said in the no government part, I just rather not have any of the bullshit. But you got to have a message other than no kings. I saw videos of them passing out passing out cheat sheets for protesters at some of the protests with their talking points, what's actually going on. You can definitely tell a lot of it's organized and not just spontaneous general citizens, the way things have been organized and the things that they're putting out. Lots of lying in the media and people getting caught showing footage that isn't actually the footage that's live or recent. It's a show. It's a show, guys, for sure. I'm not sure where it ends up. I don't know. The National Guard stuff. I think that's one of the things they're protesting, the ICE raids and the National Guard stuff. Uh, that shit's kind of spooky to me. And it's a delicate line. Pip says circus music. Yeah, for sure. I don't have any circus music in my soundboard here. I don't know. Let's see. How about this one? That doesn't work. I don't know. I don't know. As an anarchist, it's a sticky situation, and I think it was Milton Friedman who talked about you can't have a welfare state and open borders. You can have some of each. You can have one or the other. I believe he argued, but you can't have open borders and a welfare state. As an anarchist, I would like no borders and no welfare state. How about that? How about we can do as we please and move about where we please, and the government doesn't all of a sudden hand you a check when you happen to walk across a geographical location. But that ship has sailed a long time ago. So what's the answer? It's almost like made a mess. How do you clean it up within the framework of the mess that you've created? Like we can't all of a sudden take away the welfare state. We could. Would it go well? Probably not. So what do you do? I mean, this illegal immigration, the amnesty, the deportation, it's been going on since I was a kid. I remember it over and over and over. And has it ramped up to a level that's it gets a little worse all the time? Is it what's going on? But the bigger thing that worries me, I guess I can't say that it worries me. The thing that I'm noticing is the acceptance of military. It's not military forces, National Guard. I guess they are military. The presence in the cities and the normalization of the activation of the guard in cities. The acceptance and the resistance of it. What does that lead to long term? And what is an appropriate situation for that to happen? Somebody's upset with a protest here, or someone's upset with the way things are going there, and they call out the National Guard, and now we have troops in the streets, and they never leave. Or maybe we have a state of emergency. I don't know. I don't know what happens, but as I see military forces rolling out into U.S. cities, it gives you a spooky little feeling. Or at least it gives me a spooky little feeling. So we'll see how that plays out long term. But no government, no kings was no problem for me. I just sat back and watched it all, and that just reinforced my need to get off social media and get into a platform where I control my own algorithm. I see the creators, the people doing things, the people creating things, the people growing things and posting about their lives and their productive lives instead of just complaining about bullshit, getting fed commercials and advertisements and trash all the time with no real choice about it. I think it was Rewilder Life that posted something that if you're not paying for a product, you are the product, and that is definitely true with most of the major social medias. So anyway, more on that to come in the upcoming weeks. Guys, if you're looking to get some comfrey in the ground before winter, now is a great time. You can get comfrey root cuttings, Backing for comfrey root cuttings at comfreyroots.com. They'll go out, ship out every Monday. Get them in the ground now, and they'll be nice and ready for spring to pop up and start growing you a fantastic plant to have on your property. Medicinal plant, soil builder, all around just fantastic multi-purpose plant. And you can make some money off it too if you really want to. So check out comfreyroots.com for that. Other than that, you can head on over to store.blockstream.com and use code The Lots Project and save yourself 10% on the Blockstream J and J Plus hardware wallets for Bitcoin. Martinson family says our police carry M4s and dress as soldiers. They enforce law, not serve the people. Yeah, that's here too for sure. Beyond that, guys, if you could head over to thelotsproject.com and click on that banner anywhere on the page, you could find it. Shopping on Amazon today, that gets you in my Amazon tracking and earn a little commission off of that. Helps support me and keeps doing the show. Yeah, it is what it is, guys. I've been, like I said at the top, I've been focusing a lot on building the cabin, researching the cabin, researching the next step, and trying to figure out what's going on with what I'm currently doing. So, we'll see. We'll see how it goes. We'll move forward and just try to keep getting better. So anyway, I appreciate you guys all hanging out. If you want to hang out during the week, you can head on over to the Telegram chat at t.me/lotschat. That's t.me/LOTSCHAT. t.me/lotschat. Great group of people over there. We have a good time, bullshit, and talk about all sorts of nonsense. So come on over and join the fun there. Other than that, I'm going to try to make my way back to the property at least a few times this week, hiking in with backpack and all the supplies I need for the day. And hopefully the road gets fixed up and we can have permanent access no matter what the weather is. Hopefully you guys have an awesome week and get everything done that you want and you're productive. We'll see you over on the Telegram channel, or we'll catch up again with you next Monday morning.